All right, my listeners out there, seniors, Medicare and You, May 8th, halfway through the show. We have callers calling in. The line has been lit. Is it okay if we take the call?
Sure.
Okay, I believe that is our guest.
Yep.
And let's patch the through. Doctor, welcome to Medicare and You. Michael Regan here.
Hi. Good afternoon. How are you?
Good, fantastic. I am with your coworker, Christine Bianchi, here in the studio.
Awesome.
Hi, Dr. Sadiq. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you, Christine, for having me around.
Oh, it's our pleasure. It's always nice to hear from an intelligent internal medicine MD. Take it away, doctor.
I know. I sit on the third floor, and if I float upper, then I think I'll land up on the roof. I'll stay there. Thank you for me.
Well, Dr. Sadiq, why don't you tell us a little bit about the patients you're seeing and how patient-centered medical home has had a positive impact on the services we're providing?
All right. First and foremost, I want to tell you this, that I have been in Staywell for about almost 5 years, and I have worked in South Bronx and the North Bronx, but trust me, in Waterbury, it was a group of patients that were out of the blue. They were very complicated, unfortunately underserved, to be honest. So many of them didn't have insurance. It was a mind-blowing experience, it is called. And the amount of service Staywell has provided is, I cannot just write it in one line, because there are people who are homeless. We do outreach, pick up cancers in the outreach program and refer them to oncology. We diagnose diabetes in the outreach program and get them over into the clinic and manage it. There are many people actually we find that who have no insurance, and we bring them over, send them to the WAP program that we have downstairs in the second floor, and they get some insurance, which is actually at par with the state insurance, and they get pretty much everything done.
Right.
And the most important thing I want to say is the employee electronic health record and the PCMH. If you notice, there are a couple of complaints all over the world that the doctor's handwriting was illegible. I did not figure out what he was written, whether it is a doctor complaining against a doctor or a patient complaining against a doctor. It was always the same. The doctor's handwriting is the most horrible thing. So electronic health record took care of this problem right at the base.
Okay.
And then we also have a very interesting thing of meaningful use and a care summary to be provided to the patients. Mm-hmm. So, when we see a patient with multiple medical problems, after the visit, we print out a care summary and give it to the patient. And when we are giving out a piece of paper to a patient, the patient obviously asks us, what is this, doc? So we explain to the patient that, today your vitals were this, these are your medical problems, these are the medications you're on, and these are our recommendations. The biggest complaint on earth, which I have seen in my clinical experience, is the doctor not communicating with the patient. So when we are giving out this care summary, actually, this whole problem is being addressed. So wherever the patient goes, he has that paper in his hand, whether it is the pharmacy, whether he's to another doctor, whether he's in the emergency room. He has this piece of paper, and the continuity of care is awesome. It's awesome. I can tell you that this is awesome. I've seen my colleagues work in New York City. I've seen my colleagues work here in Waterbury. This problem that we have been facing from time immemorial, is resolved with this care summary thing.
So you hand the client a blueprint of their information, and they can it's portable, so they can take it with them.
They can take it with them. We print it out, and we are actually at this time, Christine and her team are working to implement the email portal. So henceforth, I hope every client of ours has an email access, and we'll be emailing them their care summaries.
Very intelligent, very proactive, forward approach to obviously what's happening. The world is moving so quickly.
Right. My personal experience, I go to Waterbury Hospital and admit patients. 3 years ago, every ED physician hated us because they did not know what the patient had, what was the problem, what medications were on. Unfortunately, our patients are not that educated, and they do not know exactly what medications they were on. But since we started this PCMH and the care summary giving out, Waterbury ED, it's like from hell to heaven. They're all in smiles.
This guy is funny.
The patient walks in, he has a list of problems, his last vital is there, his medication list is there, his problem is there. What else do you want? I mean,
Right.
he's there, everything.
So I think really, what's happened is we've always provided great care. It was just the best kept secret, and now we're making certain that the information is there so that we can coordinate. And let's face it, healthcare has gotten more complicated. I know, I'm my father's power of attorney and bring him to the doctor, and it gets overwhelming. I sometimes can't remember what medication he's on. Thank goodness for my smartphone. I have it all written down.
Oh, you do?
Yes, absolutely. I have to.
Right.
Now, Dr.
remember?
Sadiq, do you feel that the MIB, the Medical Information Bureau, has really streamlined this so whatever you upload, it's right there accessible?
Yes, I mean, except, it's a beginning, except a couple of instances in which we cannot access medications provided to a patient of ours in a different locality, not here, like outside the Staywell Clinic. But to be honest, the Intergy program that we work with, we can go in and click on a medication history and check if the patient was prescribed anything in Bridgeport.
Right.
So,
which also helps in my industry for the controlled substances, so they just can't keep running around getting a refill.
trust me, and in the last 5 years, the misuse of controlled substance has probably fallen by 100 times only at Staywell. Only
well
at Staywell.
Beautifully done.
Only at Staywell, just because, and plus, every provider knows what the other provider has given. It's
right.
Like our patients used to come in, we have an excellent thing of urgent care or a same-day access program. A patient of ours calls in, I'm having leg pain. There is an urgent care or there is a same-day access slots provided for every provider. If a provider has an access slot, he's put in with the patient. The patient can be seen by his PCP right away that day.
Right.
So he doesn't even have to wait for a
Which is pretty impressive, I have to tell you, because usually it's at least a week or two to wait.
It is. I mean, I hate to call Staywell Health Center as a community health clinic because this is much better than a corporate hospital at this time, the way they're working. I've been trained in Montefiore, and I've seen that there are lots of facilities, but with the minimal facilities, the things Staywell has done is, I think, much superior than any big shot hospital you can call, like New York Presbyterian or, I'm sure I was there in Montefiore being trained as a resident. A patient had to wait for 3 months to see us.
Really?
There were no openings. But this same-day access, this urgent care, we have APRNs. We collaborate with them. The patient is seen in the urgent care. The APRN just walks over. Dr. Sadiq, your patient is here. These are the complaints. Would you want to have a quick eyeball him? We go and eyeball the patient with our APRNs, and there's a continuity of care.
So it's you and an APRN, hands-on. And go ahead, Christine.
Well, I was going to say that's really the patient-centered medical home model, is that you have staff working in
Right.
teams. So you have an MD, you have an APRN, and also your nursing staff and your front desk staff. So you're all working together.
Right.
So really anticipating prior to the visit, reaching out to patients to make certain, did they complete their lab work? Did they go see the specialist? Are the records received? So that we're most efficiently using the time of the provider. I don't know if Dr. Sadiq would agree, but I think it's very frustrating for providers when you get the patient in the room and you say, okay, last time I told you to do this, this, and this, did you do it? And they say, well, no, or I did, but the records aren't here. And, you're really not giving the provider all the tools in one place to make the right decisions and next steps for patients.
Yeah, I just want the public to know that at Staywell we have, like Christine was just saying, we have groups, and each group involves an MD, an APRN, a nursing staff, an MA, and even a front desk secretary. So, and they have these hurdles, like suppose I have a group of patients I have to see tomorrow. Actually, my nurse is right now calling these patients up and asking them, have they done their blood works? And these are the recommendations in your last visit. Did you do that?
So you're getting prepared for their visit.
Right. And
that's a quality team.
Right.
There is no I in team. That's a team.
And I want to point out one particular incident in which I was impressed with my nursing staff and medical assistants and the front office was there was a elderly gentleman around 78, was admitted in Brooklyn, actually.
Okay.
with some lung problem, and he called in to Staywell, and he said, "Oh, I was visiting my daughter in New York, and I got sick, and I got admitted. I was there for 3 days. Doctor was saying something is wrong with my lung. Can I be seen?" In this group huddle, the nursing staff, the front desk, went overboard, got all the records, and guess what? He was diagnosed with cancer. And he came back home, and when he saw us next day, we hooked him up with Harold Lever Cancer Center.
Great.
He still comes in and says, "I gets me cookies. I'm happy. He's happy." So this is definitely a thing that needs to be highlighted.
Right.
This is an awesome thing.
That's why you're on the air.
And, Dr. Sadiq, that example, I think, with that patient also speaks to the challenges right now with managing the health care of seniors as families as families have moved very...
He was visiting his daughter in Brooklyn.
Right, and so...
They're not local anymore.
They're not local anymore, and healthcare has gotten complicated, I think, as I've said, and people are living longer, and it's very challenging for seniors to manage healthcare on their own. And so we're really doing a lot of work to focus on our senior population and trying to adjust to their needs and identify resources to really coordinate the care and give some extra attention to this group.
Right. And I think Christine is being a bit more humble. I have to point out that she runs this outreach program, and I have done this outreach for a pretty long time, almost, you correct me if I'm wrong, almost more than 1.5 years and almost up to 2. So I used to see these homeless people, unfortunately, and I used to see these people use substances. I had many opportunities to sit down and talk to them. I used to ask them, "Why do you use cocaine, sir? Why do you use heroin, sir?" They used to tell me this one simple answer, and I used to get very, very frustrated that we use cocaine to stay warm because we sleep under the bridges. And these outreach program, I have to tell, the outreach program, the coordinating nurses and the staff that we have actually went out and helped a couple of our clients to get in Section 8 housing. And I can tell you that I recently saw one of them, and they have been clean for the last 1.5 years since they have had this housing problem resolved.
God bless them.
That's great.
So, and
you know what I always say, because there's a lot of axe grinders out there, doctor, who are just like, forget them. They're people. They didn't wake up and say, "I can't wait to be homeless today. Yes, I'm gonna." No, I mean it's a societal thing. I mean, these people are people as well. Right. Yes. I'm a father, I'm a husband, I have a lot of responsibilities on my plate, and my job is to lead by example. Some of these people didn't have a good dad who coaches their kids' soccer teams and takes them to the game a half hour early and warms them up and goes to Home Depot and buys wood and makes a birdhouse with his son. Some of these people aren't from good stock, and they just went the wrong way. It's not 100% necessarily their fault. People do get tied into opiates, and it does become too late after that. Sometimes it's they didn't mean to. They were enjoying it in the beginning. I've talked to a lot of clients of mine who go to rehab and everything, and they said it was just fun at the beginning, but then all of a sudden it developed into a problem. And they're lucky to have intelligent doctors like yourself that spend the time talking to someone like that. There is a great person, my friend Kristen with the United Way. Probably shouldn't say her last name, but I saw a slide program, and it was showing the homeless people underneath the bridges that you're referring to. And the slide said, just like a computer, either accept or deny. You've chosen to accept this. It certainly doesn't make you spine surgeon salary, but you care about people, and that is also your mission in life, is to be an MD and care about people. It's very much to your credit.
I have to tell you that this is a completely team effort, which involves starting from Christine to us, to the APRN, to Jackie Reg, and everybody, Ravneet, and whoever is working. As you very rightly pointed out, in the beginning it's fun. A teenager is doing drugs.
They told me that. They said the word fun.
But then subsequently it's actually, I'll label it as a disease. I come from India. I'm sure you've watched Slumdog Millionaire, and you've seen poverty at its height. And when you come to the United States, a person from the third world country cannot relate to that poverty here in the United States. It's absolutely not acceptable because we are way advanced in culture, and we cannot allow a homeless person to sleep under a bridge in the United States, and we are going and sleeping in a bed. And I think the outreach program here at Staywell is doing an awesome job. And I would love to give you names, but unfortunately, HIPAA.
We can't HIPAA. But,
yeah, HIPAA.
But the word "awesome job" speaks volumes here. I hear you loud and clear.
Well, I think we've certainly talked about addiction being a powerful thing, but what we are really proud of is that we have 158 colleagues, all of whom embrace our mission and really look at treating patients with dignity, regardless of
economic status.
Yeah, regardless of what it says on your insurance card or lack thereof, or what's in your wallet or not, and really our goal is to help people be healthier, maintain their health status so that they can go on and perform their role within our community. Are you a parent, a grandparent, a grandson, a neighbor, employee, et cetera? And that's what makes our community stronger. We're just playing our part here.
And if you're listening out there, please feel free to call in, or if you don't want to talk about it on the air, you can always call the Staywell Center at 203-756-8021. The switchboard picks up instantly. You can call in and ask Christine a question or Doctor a question at 757-1320. Doctor, do you have to roll, or do you have a minute or two more?
I still have time. And coming from the homeless, I wanted to let you know that our diabetic management that we do here, diabetes has been a very prime goal of Dr. Takuna. And I will have to tell you that the diabetes control, if you compare it to nationwide, I think we are at the upper levels of diabetes control.
Okay. We are higher than the national average.
Yes.
And the other thing, though, is that we're also higher than in terms of the percent of patients who are diagnosed with diabetes. So either patients in Waterbury are sicker, or we're just doing a better job diagnosing. So who knows?
Well, that is where, Christine, I have to tell you that this meaningful use thing comes in when we go in and start screening people, when we have to go and question them, have you done the labs, have you done this, when even the PCMH hurdles that we have, did they do the labs, did we diagnosed early, picked up early, and then followed up, by conducting classes for diabetic people, and ensuring that they saw the eye doctor or the foot doctor. Everything is there in the meaningful use. So every time they come in, we actually go in and ask them, did you see the eye doctor? Did you see the foot doctor? What was your blood sugars at home? Are you with your medications? Have you ran out of your medications? And then we have Luz Victor, who's doing a tremendous job. She's calling them up virtually and up in their backs that, are you taking care of yourself?
Right.
And the talk of the town these days is this is a new development in medical science that, dental hygiene prevents heart problems and stuff. We have an excellent dental team right here, and they're taken care of.
Very much so. That's 1309 South Main Street for anyone that needs the care.
Now Dr. Sadiq is being very serious here in our conversation today. But
during rehearsal, she already told me about
one of
comedian.
Dr. Sadiq's gifts
is
his ability to manage stress and keep things lighthearted in our health center. Because certainly, it's our patients are stressed out when they're coming in, and as much as our staff are committed to doing this work, it does get very stressful. So we appreciate the humor which Dr. Sadiq brings to our daily work.
Thank you, Christine.
His lighthearted approach.
I want to tell all my patients, all the people who are listening to us, that we will have a lot of fun. And Staywell, the best part is it's a family. And in the family, you always have difference of opinion. You might be angry one day, you might be very happy the other day, and that is what a family is. And we are all here as a family to help build this community up.
Right.
So there will be instances in which Dr. Sadiq will be very serious, calling you fat and ugly, but in instances I will say, have fun with you, saying, did you get me chilies cooked at home? So we will have fun on that part too.
Good conversation with you. Funny and straight to the point. Thanks for taking care of the community and saving lives. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Shukriya, Dr. Sadiq.
Shukriya. Thank you so much for having me.
Bye-bye. All right, taking a commercial break. We will be back with Christine Bianchi of the Staywell Center.